Premier League weekend continues. 33 goals up to this point. Don't forget, today we still have Leicester-Burnley to bring you from the KP, and tomorrow, including Manchester City's first action of the season away at Wolves. We've already seen wins, significant ones for Spurs and Brighton today, and Liverpool have now joined them. Very, very early days, but supporters love glancing at the league table, don't they? Particularly ones on Merseyside, I would suggest, at the moment, because Everton are top on goal difference, 2 wins out of 2, the same for the former Everton man, Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Liverpool have joined them, and Crystal Palace as well. Of course, after Roy Hodgson's win at Old Trafford, Leicester have the opportunity to also make it 6 out of 6, as I say, to take on Burnley shortly. Still teams yet to play. Villa, Burnley up next, and City. West Brom, no points in 2 games. Southampton, Fulham and West Ham, all the same.
Frank, obviously playing against Liverpool with 10 men is very difficult. The red card was all important.
Yeah, I think certainly for chances, the first half was very even. They probably had some more ball than us, but we looked really dangerous on the break a couple of times. Red card completely changes the face of the game. It changes the talk that I have to do at half time, makes me have to go into a reshuffle, and against a team of such quality, it's always going to be difficult. Always going to be difficult the second half with 10 men.
Any complaints about the decision? Obviously VAR took a part in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be given or not when you consider that Kepa's coming out. If anything, I'm a bit surprised about the fact that it's a yellow card at first glance that gets changed. If it was given as a red straight away and they continue with that, I think it was somewhere in between.
And then in the second half it becomes really difficult, but obviously the second goal, you can't ignore the fact that your goalkeeper's made a big error there.
Yeah, big mistake, clear mistake. And then when you reflect on the half, you say we 10 men for half a game against Liverpool. Without that mistake and with the penalty, we draw the game 1-1 and actually have a couple of other little breakaway moments. So I'm actually happier in lots of ways than I was after Brighton on Monday, because Brighton was a good 3 points, an okay performance because we're still pre-season feeling here. Players having enough time to get fit. Today was a game of spirit. It was a game of character in the second half, and lots of individuals showed me loads of good things today.
Obviously Kepa has been under a lot of pressure. Edouard Mendy, we think, is coming into Chelsea from Rennes. I'm not sure if that's over the line yet, but it's close. If not, perhaps you can tell us. But have you made a decision on Kepa? Is it influenced by what you've seen today?
No, and I don't want to say any more about it.
Can I ask you, in terms of taking on Liverpool here, and in that first half, were they pushing you back, or was it a tactical thing? We want to try and soak this up and hit on the break?
I thought we could get higher up the pitch. I felt we would have done in the second half with 11, because I felt some of our confidence on the ball and the way we moved the ball wasn't quite there as it should be. Maybe it's because it's early days. The players haven't been together that much at all. Liverpool have had more time, and they're a team that's been built for a long time as well. So I was concerned about how we would defend our box when you had the threat of Mane and Salah. First half, I thought we were brilliant at doing it, and then we had our little moment. So I was feeling second half we would get higher at the pitch, we could control it more, we would get more chances against their line. The red card obviously changed the whole course of how the game was going. Final
one from me. Rudiger obviously wasn't in the squad today. You didn't have it. Tomori did well when he came on, but is there any reason why he wasn't involved?
No, every week you'll probably ask me why one of the 4/5 at the minute is not in the squad.
All right, thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank
cheers.
you.
Sadio, you were very much the main man today, involved in everything positive for Liverpool. Did it feel like that for you?
Well, obviously, I think it was a tough game. To be honest, it was a tough game, especially the first half. We find it very difficult to create chances, and I think when we got they got the red card, make us easier, and the second half we created also many chances, and finally we score 2 goals. I think today we deserve to win.
In your mind, was there any doubt that it was a red card? And also, how good was the ball from Jordan Henderson?
Yeah, it was a great ball from him because, great player. I know him. I know that at that moment, the only choice he have to do is to put the ball, and he's very good on it. So I try to make the runs, and I find the ball in front of me. But when he make foul, I knew that it was penalty. It was red card because I even told him, my friend, it's penalty. It's red card, sorry. And then after the referee gave him red card, so lucky for us.
Of course, you made the breakthrough with a header, but the second goal, you just given the ball away and you look really angry with yourself. Is that what gave you motivation to chase in?
Yeah, sure. I think this kind of things is always is what we try in the training pitch. So when he got the ball, I know it will be difficult for him to have another option. The only option to do is shoot. So I was in front of him, and he tried to pass, and unlucky for him and make mistakes. So lucky for me, and score the second goal for my team.
Of course, we've got a little look at the new boy, Thiago. How do you think he settled in for his half?
I think not only me, all the world know how he's capable to do. He's one of the best players in the world, so we are lucky to have Thiago in our team, and I think today he showed that he's a great player.
Great stuff. Well done today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes, a lovely 45 minutes for Thiago, his first in a Liverpool shirt, but another terrific 90 minutes for Sadio Mane. We spent the pre-match quite rightly talking about Mo Salah. He often takes the headlines. I just wonder just how important that fella is to Liverpool, though, Glenn.
Yeah, for me, he's just as important as any. He seems to me to do everything right. You know, he's super explosive. He brings his other teammates into the game at the right times. He takes a game upon his own shoulders at the right times. And you hear him, Harry talks there, he's like the super pro, and his second goal just sums him up. Obviously giving the ball away, angry with himself, and running past teammates to close the keeper down. He
was involved in all the incidents today. We heard him say he told Andreas Christensen it was a red card straight away, and eventually they got to the right decision.
Yeah, I think when you're committing a foul or you're one that's been fouled, you know straight away what's happened and you know what was about to happen. So I think there was no question at all about the red card. He makes a fantastic run across his man, has the momentum. Christensen brings him down with both arms, and it took Mr. Tierney, the referee, 2 attempts to get to the final decision, the right decision, but he did get there in the end. And it was VAR at its best, really, but no question about it. A red card, and it was a pivotal moment in the game.
Yeah, because as we said at half-time, Glenn, when they weren't going to the monitors last season, we might have been sitting here having a different discussion about a yellow card last season.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think we definitely would have been complaining why somebody didn't go to a monitor and watch this over again. So, today VAR has worked very well and got to the right decision.
And how big a decision was that, the way the game went?
But it's huge. I touched on it earlier. It's so tough to play against 11 men with 10. I'm sure Liverpool at that moment would have been, within themselves over the moon, thinking right now we're going to get on the ball. And once they played against a 10 after the second half kickoff, they ramped it up and got their goals and put the game to bed.
How much did you enjoy then Liverpool's first goal, the build up to it?
It was brilliant, and it was classic training ground stuff, really. I mean, the build up was great, keeping the ball. But just the last little movements, the little 1-2, the run across the defender was top class. Thiago was dictating play as soon as he came on, as we expected to. But look, when they get into these final thirds, they up the speed, up the tempo, and I just love the run from Sadio Mane. If you've got a defender, if you can see a defender's number, you've got him. You've absolutely got him. And Reece James was in the wrong position, didn't open his body out, and all of a sudden he goes from behind him to nicking in front of him. At timing of the run was perfect, and the header was brilliant as well. I mean, he was the difference today, as you said, Steve, involved in all the big moments of the game.
That's the striker's point of view. You said Reece James was in at Chelsea right back. Let's ask the former Chelsea one. How difficult is that to defend against?
It's difficult. sometimes you play against top players and top teams and they score great goals and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. But for me, it starts with Alonso. You know, as a 14-year-old boy, playing in fullback, you get told to follow the runner, don't worry about the ball, because you know it's going to be a 1-2. And as Firmino sets the pass off to Salah, Alonso keeps watching the ball and he just completely switches off and then he's out the game. And then with Reece James, not once does he check his... He can also see the 1-2 happening on the other side of the pitch and he doesn't check his shoulder at all. And then, like Mo's saying, if the striker comes quickly across you, you've got no time to react and then there's nothing you can do about it. So I think this is the moment they could have stopped it. After this, there's nothing they can do.
Very difficult to defend, isn't it? I mean, 1-2s are really difficult at the best of times, but as Jono says, as a full-back, he'd know better than anyone how to defend against that. But as a centre-forward, I'm thinking, or as an attacking player, I'm thinking just get as long as you've got him on the blind side, as soon as you can see his number, you know that the defender can't see you, then you're just totally in control of the situation. If the ball, it looks as if it's about to be played, then you make your run just as the leg's coming back to cross it and you nip in front. It's all about timing.
Now, goal 2, before we get to the error, from a Liverpool point of view, straight away you noticed Sadio Mane's reaction and praised his pressing here.
This is just him all over. You know, I see so many players, they make a mistake and they wallow with pity, they throw their arms around, and you see his reaction. He jumps in the air and then all of a sudden, so that's the little tiny split second of frustration. And then straight away, heads on it, right, I'm going to atone for my error. Look at this, the way he sort of just jumps, a little bit of frustration, and now what? What am I going to do about it? Stand there and cry about it? Or get on the front foot, go and attack, go and try to close the ball down? He's ran past Firmino, and you see Firmino pointing as well, saying, you close that one down, I've got this one covered. And that's exactly what he does. He blocks the pass. And, of course, it's a big mistake. But he's forced that mistake, Sadio Mane.
Unfortunately, it's another mistake from the fellow we were talking about before kick-off in the Chelsea goal.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. And again, I don't know, you can't defend him. Obviously, he can see Mane's running right down his throat. So it's not like he catches him and doesn't see him. He can see him coming from a long way away. And with a keeper with low in confidence, you'd like to think, you know, just put your boot for it and then just get everyone up and get behind you. But and to be fair, I think he made a couple in the first half as well in terms of being, positional play. But obviously those didn't lead to anything, so he got away with it. But you clearly can't make little passes like this around your 6-yard box.
Yeah, and this is what you were saying before the game about his levels of confidence, understandably so, given what's happened in big games.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one there. He needs to sort of the awareness. When he sets off, he should realise where the ball's going and think, well, my fullback will get back in time and let him deal with that and then just stay in goal and just stay in control and dictate as opposed to, rushing out. And I think he's just too eager to do the right thing that he's actually making the wrong decisions.
There are reports out there suggesting Edouard Mendy from Rennes is going to arrive sometime in the next 7 days. Would he go straight in, do you? Does Kepa need a little bit of a rest, Colin?
Well, I can't imagine that they'd sign someone like that and to not play. Or if you could attract a player like that to come and, tell him that he's going to fight for his place. But it's a difficult one because obviously we all know how much Kepa cost the club. He's obviously on a big contract. And he's going to be a player that they need to work with and try and get him back to his best at some point. Because as we said at the start of the show, on his day, he's obviously a fantastic player, but he's just not showing it at the moment.